I've always had the opinion that Aries and Gemini just understand each other. Aries and Gemini Venus is a very fun and exciting pair. They can keep each other on their toes. They like a little bit of competition. At the same time, Aries is a yapper the same way that Gemini is, so they can keep Gemini mentally stimulated, which allows for them to connect on a deeper level. I think that Aries are probably one of the few signs that can actually keep up with Gemini. I think that Gemini typically does do well with fire signs. However, when it comes to Leo or Sagittarius, there's a little bit more tension. Aries are a little bit more laid back when it comes to certain things, although they do value what they like over other people's. I think Aries and Gemini just kind of get each other. There's like a battle of wits that kind of happens, and there's a lot of excitement. So overall, I'd rate Aries and Gemini Venus a 9 out of 10. I talked about Taurus and Gemini Venuses, but just to recap, I think that they approach love very differently. Taurus is looking for stability, while Gemini is looking for freedom. Gemini tends to value words of affirmation, while Taurus is looking for acts of service or quality time, things of those sorts. So I rated them a 3 out of 10. I think that I'm still sticking with that. I think that signs that are right next to each other, they can kind of understand each other better than other signs. However, Air and Earth just don't make sense to me, so I'm sticking to my 3 out of 10. Gemini and Gemini Venuses kind of make sense to me in a way because they want the same things. This is a relationship that's very lighthearted. Possessiveness is not really a thing because they understand the other person needs a little bit of space and freedom to do what they want to do. I think with conjunctions, it can be kind of hard because you don't really complement each other. You want the same things, you ask for the same things, but there's not really someone to balance you out a little bit. With Gemini, I think it might be a little bit different because they're all about duality. They're twins. They have those multiple personalities, and so they're able to adapt to the needs of their partner pretty well. However, I think a Gemini and Gemini Venus is more for a short-term relationship than a long-term, but overall, I would rate this a 7 out of 10 just because they're able to adapt to their partner's needs and wants pretty well. I also talked about Cancer and Gemini Venuses already, but just to recap, I think that there's a lot of interest that goes on here. The first initial attraction is very strong. However, over time, they'll realize that they don't really have much in common because Cancer is looking for stability, someone who's willing to open up emotionally, and Gemini can be a little bit too detached for Cancer. They need a little bit more freedom. This can make Cancer feel kind of insecure about the relationship. So overall, I think that I rated this a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna stick beside that, mostly because I think that Cancers need somebody with a little bit more stability because they're very moody, and Gemini's all over the place, so they can't really offer that to them.